he looked in Tampa. So I think he might move up ahead of Kamal here. I think Kukla was on, but he just didn't bring – he brought the size, but he didn't really bring the fullness that Andrew Jack brought, because I think they had pretty comparable conditioning, him and Andrew. But Andrew just had a lot fuller, rounder muscles, and you were just drawn to his physique more. I'm not saying that Steve was flat, but Steve, he was on is what I'm saying. And I think Andrew, if he wins this is going to be a massive, massive feather in his cap, because this is his pro debut. There's been all this talk about him online, all this hype, and so often we see guys that get the hype online and that they don't deliver on stage and they don't come through. This could be like a Nick Walker situation right out of the gate. Well, Nick Walker didn't win his pro debut, but right out of the gate does extremely well. Potentially is going to win this show, the Texas Pro's pro debut, and go straight to the Olympia. And I honestly think if he's a little sharper at the Olympia than he was here, Andrew, I think he can do some real damage at the Olympia. Putting him next to a guy like Steve and him still looking that big, I think he's dangerous, man. I think Andrew Jack could be a really, really serious threat at the Olympia looking at this. And I think if Martin Fitzwater does get second here, I think he should continue competing and trying to qualify by winning another open show, because I think he's turning into a pretty great open bodybuilder as well. He's switching over from a different division also. And I would like to see him in that Olympia mix. So I hope that he continues to compete even if he does get second. He could even be in the conversation for a win here. And that's why I think this lineup is so cool and it's such a good moment to be a bodybuilding fan, is because all these guys brought it. They all have such very different physiques. Andrew Jack, the guy that I think is probably going to win this show, is the tallest bodybuilder on stage, and he's very tall. I mean, he's taller than Steve. And typically, tall bodybuilders don't do well. Typically, it's a shorter bodybuilder, or bodybuilding is a short man sport, I guess would be the way that I want to word that. So you got Andrew Jack. You've got two guys that, Martin Fitzwater and Kamal, who came over from 212. Shorter guys, smaller guys that were very complete. Kamal brought crazy conditioning. Martin brought crazy shape. He has a really nice structure. He's very similar to like Keon Pearson. And you've got Steve, who's kind of a mass monster. Not the prettiest physique, but he brings like gnarly, grainy, conditioned muscle. And then you've got Quint Beastwood, another taller guy, but a very aesthetic taller guy. Not the biggest tall guy, but very aesthetic. You got Jeff Day, Big Bad Bundy. I just like saying that a lot better than saying Jeff Day, because that's his Instagram name. He brought something different here. I think he brought a really good version of his physique compared to his pro debut physique.